Hi everyone. So in this video, we're going to introduce on how to perform data analysis on an Iceberg table using DataWorks Notebook. So first, let me quickly go through the products that we'll be using today. The first one will be DataWorks. So DataWorks is an integrated data platform that would allow you to integrate data from various data sources, including MySQL, OSS, and also Amazon S3, and also Azure Blob, and so on. And it can also allow you to make use of all the computing engines on Alibaba Cloud, including EMR Spark, EMR StarRocks, and also Max Compute, Flink, Holograph, and so on. And you can also build up data warehouse on DataWorks. You can create a set of nodes, you can create a set of workflows, and you can create a set of scheduled jobs and manage all your data processing works, and so on. And the other products that we'll be making use of today would be EMR. Right, as we have introduced before, EMR Serverless Spark is a fully managed serverless version of the Spark engine. And here for today's demo, we are assuming that you have already set up the EMR Serverless Spark environment on Alibaba Cloud, which means you have already configured your computing engine on EMR Spark, and you have also set up a session that can successfully run, and also you have set up an Iceberg data catalog here, and also you can successfully carry out data analysis jobs using SQL language on EMR Serverless Spark here. Okay, so let's jump right in. So the first thing that we'll need to do on DataWorks is to create a new workspace. So if we click workspace here and click create workspace, and we'll need to type in the workspace name and all the configurations that follows. And for this demo, we have already created this workspace named POC Demo 0703. So let's take a look at it. And after you have created this workspace, what you need to do is that you need to configure the computing resource. So here we have already configured our computing resource as EMR Serverless Spark, which means that for the jobs that we run on DataWorks, and we sort of like point to this computing resource named POC Demo 0703, it will run using the computing resource of what we configured here on EMR Spark. Yeah, and if we click Edit, we'll be able to see all the details here. And for Iceberg table especially, please select exactly the same computing engine as I've selected here. And please specifically focus on JDK 17, ESR 4.3.0, and Java runtime. Okay, so after we have configured the workspace, we can jump right into the data development field of DataWorks. So the way that we go into the data development space is that we hover our mouse on the shortcuts button, and then we click on Data Studio. And here, we can basically create a set of nodes, workflows, or notebook on the Data Studio. If we click this little create button here, we can see that we can create a set of data integration, such as batch synchronization or real-time synchronization, or we can create notebooks, or we can create nodes that make use of all the types of computing engines, including Max Compute, Holograph, Flink, EMR, and so on. And for this demo, we'll be using a notebook. So we have created this notebook here, and we'll be able to make use of it. And here, after you have created this notebook, you need to specify your personal development environment. If you don't have one, please click New Instance and create one. And here, I have already configured my personal development environment, so I'll just select it. And we'll be able to carry out all the data analysis here. We can basically run exactly the same SQL code as we did on EMR Serverless Spark. So we can run all these select statements here. And before running it, please make sure that you have specified EMR Spark SQL here. So if you are not sure, please click into it and make sure you select EMR Spark SQL. And for this one, please make sure that you click into it and select the POC demo 0703. So this is basically our computing engine. We need to specify our computing engine before we are running any queries. And we can see that this query can successfully be run on our notebook. So that means we can do exactly the same SQL analysis as we did on the EMR Serverless Spark's UI. And if we want to create any new new boxes or new cells, we can always just hover our mouse above or below any of the cells and then click whichever cells that we want to create. And here, apart from querying the data that already exists on EMR's Serverless Spark, we can also create a table here. So here I have already ran this code, so this table already exists. We can take a look at it here. So if we click Data Catalog and go to Defaults, and we can see that the table that we have created on DataWorks Notebook already exists here. And also, if we run this show create table statement, it will basically specify the details of this table, and we can see that this table is basically in the format of Iceberg. So that basically means if we have selected this computing resource, since it is using the Iceberg catalog on EMR Serverless Spark, all the tables that we create here without any specification will be in the format of Iceberg. And here we can also insert some values into this table, and after inserting this value, we can also query the table, and then we'll be able to see the data that we have inserted into this table. Okay, the next part is about how to use PySpark on this notebook to carry out data analysis. So for PySpark, we need to run this. This is basically what we call the magic command on Alibaba Cloud. We need to, first of all, run this magic command to load the PySpark engine on Alibaba Cloud. And then the next step is that we will need to go to EMR Serverless Spark's web page, and then we'll need to click onto Gateways. And here we'll need to create a Levy gateway. You can create it by just click the button here, and and here please make sure that you specify the computing engine as this one, the one with JDK17 here. Okay, and since we have already created this this Levy gateway, I'll just show the details of it to you. So after you have created this Levy gateway, please make sure that you have the information of its endpoint, and also you generate a token of this Levy gateway. And now let's go back. So here we need to do this configuration and make sure that the Levy session is set up. And this is basically saying that we need to add this Levy session onto our notebook workspace. We'll need to configure the endpoint here exactly the same as the one we've shown here. And also we'll need to configure the token here exactly the same as what we've shown here. And the token will appear once you have created it, but it will not show up again if you close the create token window. So please make sure that you store or memorize your token by the time you create it. Okay, and here, after we have configured our Levy gateway and Levy session, we'll be able to run the PySpark code. So if we just click run here, and we'll be able to see that the PySpark query is working here on the DataWorks Notebook. Okay, so that's basically it for today's demonstration. I know that for today, I didn't give very complicated examples, but hopefully this gives you a bit of hints on how to use SQL and Spark SQL on DataWorks Notebook. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.